Now, here's a particularly annoying story, frustrating. Smotrich, we will cut taxes for the middle class and encourage Aliyah. As if the reason that people are not emigrating to Israel is because of high taxes. This would be true if you were, I don't know, uh, watching Ben Shapiro or reading Hayek and Mises talking about free markets and high taxes. But for those of us who actually live in Israel and understand what's going on, the issue is not taxes. Finance Minister announces plan to reduce taxes and promote Aliyah with economic incentives. Says blank check for defense spending will end. Now, cutting defense spending at this time is absolutely insane. It's completely insane. We are surrounded by enemies, and despite what Netanyahu and I guess perhaps Smotrich would say, the war is not over. Our enemies are not making peace with us, and the situation is about as dangerous now as it's ever been. So cutting spending is insane. Defense spending is completely insane. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich on Sunday addressed the annual tax conference of the Chamber of Tax Advisors in Eilat. You could just imagine how corrupt uh, this entire entity and conference truly is, outlining the government's economic and security direction for the coming years. Smotrich announced plans to lower taxes on employment income and promote Aliyah. Now, perhaps Bezalel Smotrich doesn't know this. I'm not sure he's ever actually worked a job in Israel. The job market is terrible in Israel. It's terrible. If you work in high tech, it's pretty good. If you are a regular middle class worker, there are no jobs. There are simply no jobs in Israel. The government, led by Bezalel Smotrich, has decided to flood our country with foreign laborers. The the right says, well, we don't want them from the Palestinian Authority, so they bring them in from India and Thailand and China and wherever. There are no jobs for native Israelis. There are simply no jobs. Not in virtually anything. You want a job in Israel, good luck. So he's going to lower taxes. Well, when you're unemployed, your taxes go down, do they? No, they don't. This scheme is just that. It's just a scheme. So people can't get jobs, they can't feed their families, and remember, Bezalel Smotrich proposed a plan to annex the West Bank, and that plan has been scrapped by the Americans. We had a vote, that vote was shut down, despite the fact that we had the votes to win. It was shut down. So people don't want to make Aliyah, emigrate to Israel, because they can't find work and they can't afford real estate. There's no discussion about how many billions and billions and billions of dollars annexing the West Bank, annexing Gaza would mean to the state. So we're not doing that. We're just going to cut taxes and cut defense spending. Does this sound like a good idea to anyone? Cutting defense spending is insane, absolutely insane. And cutting taxes does nothing. Does literally nothing. It sounds good, but it's ridiculous. So let's see what else we write here. We will reduce taxes on employment income to encourage workforce participation. There are no jobs. There are no jobs. Israelis are basically boxed out of the job market by cheap labor. They're boxed out. And in addition to that, the government has basically given away almost all of the government jobs, bus drivers, construction, traffic, workers, all of these government jobs, they used to be government jobs, they gave them away to contractors. They said, okay, a contractor is going to bid on a project. They take it and hire exclusively non-Israelis. So encourage workforce participation where? Where? Where is it? What, what industry is out there saying we need Israeli workers. There is none. That's the secret. We will ease the burden on the middle class. Again, the middle class can't find work in their own country. In the country that they join the army and bleed and die for, they can't find work. They brought victory and should be the first to benefit from its economic fruits. No, they didn't bring victory because we've annexed nothing. And now we have Pakistanis and Qataris and Turks and whoever the hell else now in Gaza. So they did not bring victory, and it's not their fault. It sure as hell isn't the fault of the citizens. And benefit from the economic fruits. Again, you know how they would benefit if they could afford to buy a piece of real estate in Israel? But they can't. They can't. Because Smotrich and his boss Netanyahu and the Americans have decided we can't annex land. He added the government would create aliyah by offering dramatic tax incentives. I emigrated to Israel a long time ago, but I'm an Israeli now. My tax money should go to bringing in an American to move to Israel? Why? Why? If they want to move to Israel, that's great, but I would rather my tax money goes to defense. Defense. Missiles, planes, bombs. Remember how we had discussions about military independence, domestic manufacturing? Shouldn't that be where this money goes instead of giving it to some American who wants to move to Israel? And that's great. Every Jewish person should be welcome to move to Israel. That's wonderful. But we should pay them to do it, or we should give them some breaks to do it? Why? Why? And here is the secret. If we annexed the West Bank and real estate became cheap and free, and not free price-wise, but available to buy, you would have all of the new immigrants to Israel that you could imagine. So this is some kind of like consolation prize. Oh, well, we can't do what everyone actually wants, so we're going to give you some tax breaks. Tax breaks, by the way, that no one's even going to notice. Unless you have a business, if you're just an individual working a job, you will barely notice these tax breaks at all. And it gets even better. On foreign policy, Smotrich referred to the Abraham Accords. We will work to expand the agreements. We don't want Arab investment in Israel. We don't want the Saudis investing in Israel, or the Bahrainis, or Qatar, or any of these people. We don't want them investing in our country and buying our assets. We are not interested. Mr. Smotrich, these are not your assets to sell away. We don't want them buying a piece of land in Israel and building a mega mosque. We're not interested. And again, just see this mess that the right is trying to sell us. No annexation, no Israeli jobs, because again, Smotrich is not saying get rid of foreign labor, get rid of it. We want companies to be forced to hire Israeli laborers. Is he saying that? No. No. You know what he's doing? He's basically giving a tax cut to business owners. And the majority of Israelis who don't own a business, what are they supposed to do? You're SOL. You're out of luck. But don't worry, we're going to bring in Saudi money and Qatari money to buy up your country. Great, right? Crony capitalism at its finest. We must insist these peace for peace agreements we must insist these be peace for peace agreements, genuine peace based on truth. The right is talking like this now. Now this is how the left has always been deranged, talking about peace and genuine peace. Now we have the right talking about this. Israel last. Paging Israel last. That's what this is. Israel last. We have always extended a hand for peace. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that has been a mistaken approach. Maybe we need to stop extending a hand in peace. Maybe. but we will not pay for it by relinquishing parts of the land of Israel. No, you're right. We're going to pay for it by selling parts of the land of Israel. You see, the left wants to give the land of Israel away, and the right wants to sell Israel away. That's it. The left and the right, Israel last, selling us out. The only question is for what price? With the right, maybe we get a better price than with the left. Okay, that's the difference. That's all we get. Now, he throws in this line over here, which is a nice line. But again, this guy is an idiot and a sellout and a loser. Anyone who imposes such unreasonable and dangerous demands will manage just fine without them for another 77 years, as we have until now. But that's just it. We don't need these people. We don't need any of them. In fact, we could have the country that we want today. Today, we could have it. But even Smotrich is out there selling us nonsense, tax breaks. We don't want tax breaks. We want annexation. We want the land of Israel as promised to us by the creator of heaven and earth. That's what we want. That's what we want. We don't want your tax breaks. We don't want Arab investment. We want the land of Israel for the people of Israel. That's it. That's it. And we want foreign laborers sent home so Israeli citizens can get jobs in Israel. That's what we want. We want Israel first. That's what Israel first looks like. Annexation and sending home foreign laborers so the people of Israel can have work. That's Israel first. That is Israel first to a T. We're not looking for crony tax breaks for big businesses and Arab investment. Addressing the defense budget, Smotrich said the system must now operate with a responsible fiscal framework. Now, listen, if Smotrich said, look, you know what, we're going to have more oversight to make sure that money's not being wasted, fine. Fine. I don't think anyone really disagrees with this. But this notion that he's simply going to cut the defense budget and then magically it will become more efficient. Right? If we just cut the budget, it'll become more efficient. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And by the way, he doesn't factor in that we need to cut the $4 billion we get from America every year. So this tax break will actually make it even harder to cut off the United States. It's just business as usual with these guys. More cronyism, more corruption, more Israel last. We go down the same Israel last path and then we're shocked that the results are exactly the same. Annexation. How much money would flow into the government coffers had we simply expelled the Gazans and annexed Gaza? How many billions per year in defense would we save by expelling the Gazans? Forget the real estate. Just forget the real estate for right now. If we simply took the Gazans and we sent them to Lebanon or Syria or Egypt, how much money would we save every year in defense? A big, big, big number. A huge number. But alas, but what are our options here? What is being proposed? This nonsense, this garbage. Sadly, we must come to the realization that every single option that we have on the table right now is Israel last. And we know what Israel first looks like, and we need to start demanding that the country be put first. And this is not putting the country first. Cutting defense spending and tax cuts for big businesses and cutting the defense budget and effectively leaving us enslaved to the United States to a tune of $4 billion per year for the next million years. This is not a plan at all. This is terrible. But Smotrich, you are in way over your head. You have no idea what the hell you're doing. And the sooner that we get rid of this guy, the better.